to what?
Baggedmilk. Baggedmilk. Baggedmilk.
Oh, I swear.
Oh, Baggedmilk.
And I'm hungry like
Baggedmilk.
August is almost over.
Last
there.
day.
We're almost there.
Hey, have we got any preseason stuff or anything coming down the pipe that we need to be aware of, Baggedmilk?
First preseason game is on the 25th of September, so we're still a little ways away, but we're gonna blink and we're there.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm having mixed feelings that it's the last day of August. You know, like I'm excited for hockey, but then summer's behind us.
It just went so fast. Every year it gets faster and faster.
Yeah.
At least we have the Oilers, right?
We've got a good September, a good start to September anyway. The weather forecast for the long weekend looking fantastic. I saw an Oilers Nation article, and I think it might make a good conversation this morning with you. Which Oiler needs to have the best season of their career, Baggedmilk?
That's an interesting question. So we threw that one out on social media because we were just curious what everybody's answers were, and they were very split. There was a lot of people kind of pointing fingers in different directions, and with good reasons. Like some people said, hey, you know what? The Oilers really need the best season of his career from Jack Campbell. He just came over. He signed a 5-year by $5 million contract. There's going to be pressure on. He's the goalie, blah, blah, blah. Makes sense, right? Another guy who got a lot of it was Darnell Nurse.
I was going to say Darnell Nurse.
$9 million. Yeah, his new contract kicks in this year. So he got a hefty raise. So that's got a lot of people wondering, you know, how is he going to match up to the dollar value on his contract? And whether that's fair or not, he's got a lot of pressure on him. So I would say probably those two have the most pressure on them to have the best year. I think Connor and Leon are going to be dominant. I've got an article coming up later at OilersNation.com with my 5 offseason predictions, and there's some things that you know are going to happen. Connor and Leon are going to be dominant, but if we're talking about pressure, Darnell Nurse and Jack Campbell for me probably the 2 most likely candidates.
I think it is worth saying out loud that this isn't a sport where one player, one superstar player can put the team on its back and win a championship. You can have a good player and that can get you into the playoffs, but you need the rest of the team. So I think it was an interesting conversation to have at this point in the season.
And I was thinking Darnell Nurse, not even from just he needs a big season. The Oilers need him to have a big season because they need that defenseman back there.
They do need
and he's at this point he's by far their best defenseman, so they need him for sure. He's going to have to play some big minutes. He's going to have to play against tough competition. So yeah, he's got a tough gig this year for sure.
If he grows up a bit too, I think that wouldn't hurt. And I mean it from a maturity perspective on the ice. Because every once in a while he'll do something where you're like, the cross check to the throat probably wasn't a good idea there, Darnell. Right? Like it wasn't the right time. Right?
Maybe hold off on that one.
Yeah. Are you not allowed to do that?
Yeah.
Draisaitl.
Well, you know what? You're talking about a guy that's going to be hitting 500 games played in the NHL here this season. So Darnell Nurse has got to be, he's going to have a big year, and the Oilers need him, and the team needs him. So 100%.
Draisaitl was on that podcast with Elliot Friedman the other day. I saw you guys did a write-up of it on Oilers Nation, and it was interesting. He was talking about his ankle sprain in the playoffs, and he was saying that parts of it he enjoyed because he had to learn how to play the game differently. I thought that was interesting.
What a weirdo, right? I read that quote too, and I was like, you would. Like, I just don't have that mindset of being an elite athlete, obviously, where he's like, oh, well, I could barely move, so I got to readjust my game and figure out how I could be just.
And he did.
Dominant. I thought it was amazing. He did it exactly. He did exactly that. He's like, I can barely skate, so I'm going to reinvent myself. The interesting part about that quote, Grant, is that he thinks now that he's going to be healthy, he's going to use what he learned on one leg and apply it to 2 legs, and he's going to be even better. So watch out, NHL.
So he had a
looking forward to that one.
He had a high ankle sprain, and what's the recovery time on that? Is he going to be at the front end of the season? Is he still going to be dealing with a little bit of the ramifications of that from the playoffs?
From what I know, and as an unlicensed doctor, high ankle sprains can be finicky, right? It depends what his training's like. They can take weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks to heal properly, but The good news is I'm also an unlicensed investigator, and I've been cruising his Instagram a whole lot lately, and he seems to be working out just as hard as ever in the gym. So it seems
Where does
like
he
he's
work
gonna be
out?
fine. It looked like he was over in Germany, but again, I'm just guessing.
does he go
I'm an
home?
unlicensed travel agent as well.
Well, on that note, we'll let you go. Thanks for your time, Baggedmilk.
Thanks, boys.
The Locker Room.
Brought to you by Always Plumbing and Heating.
Weekday mornings on 95.7 Cruise FM.